While the world is full of ferocious predators that can attack with incredible power, sometimes it only takes a single touch for your whole world to be turned on its head. We're going to take a look at 7 animals that have such incredible power, as well as one honorable mention that, while not an animal, has earned the name the suicide plant for a very brutal reason. Be sure to stick around for that one, but for now, we'll start with one of nature's most vibrant animals. The golden poison dart frog is native to the rainforests of Western Colombia. Although small in size, the vibrant golden coloration of these frogs serves as a powerful warning. Unlike most frogs that rely on camouflage for protection, the golden poison dart frog uses its bright color as a deterrent, essentially advertising how dangerous it is. The golden poison dart frog produces one of the most potent toxins known to science, batrachotoxin. This toxin binds to the sodium channels in nerve cells and prevents them from inactivating. This results in continuous nerve signaling and muscle contraction, leading to paralysis, respiratory failure as breathing muscles stop working, heart arrhythmias, and cardiac arrest. If the frog's toxin enters the bloodstream through ingestion or a wound, it causes severe, uncontrollable convulsions and respiratory paralysis, leading to death if not treated quickly. Just 2 micrograms, about the size of a grain of salt, is enough to kill a human. A single dart frog can carry enough batrachotoxin to kill 10 or more humans. Interestingly, the frogs in their native habitat do not naturally produce batrachotoxin. They accumulate certain chemicals from their diet, from eating particular ants and beetles, and turn it into batrachotoxin. This is why captive-bred golden poison dart frogs are not fed these specific insects to reduce their lethality. In wild animals, the toxicity is so severe that even handling a golden poison dart frog with bare hands can be deadly, particularly if there are any cuts or open wounds on the skin. Though there is no specific antidote for batrachotoxin, immediate medical intervention such as artificial respiration and heart monitoring is essential to treat poisoning. However, due to the rapid effects of the toxin, survival chances are slim without quick access to medical treatment. Our next animal uses similar coloration, but they are found underwater. The blue-ringed octopus is found in the tropical and subtropical waters of the Pacific and Indian Oceans, particularly around Australia, Japan, Indonesia, and the Philippines. These small but highly venomous cephalopods prefer shallow tide pools, coral reefs, and sandy seabeds, where they can blend into their surroundings. Unlike many octopuses, which are nocturnal, the blue-ringed octopus is sometimes active during the day, making it more likely to come into contact with unsuspecting humans. It is one of the deadliest marine animals, despite its small size. Its venom contains tetrodotoxin, or TTX, a potent neurotoxin that can cause total paralysis and respiratory failure within minutes. Tetrodotoxin is 1,200 times more toxic than cyanide, and there is no known antidote. Tetrodotoxin does the opposite to the poison dart frog, blocking sodium channels so nerves can't fire. This leads to rapid effects like numbness and tingling, before escalating to full-body paralysis and an inability to breathe. Victims remain fully conscious throughout the process, but are unable to move, speak, or call for help, essentially becoming trapped in their own body. The toxin also paralyzes the diaphragm, and the victim will suffocate within 30 minutes if artificial respiration is not provided. What's worse is that the bite is painless, making it difficult to realize you've been envenomated until paralysis begins. The venom from a single blue-ringed octopus carries enough toxin to kill 26 adult humans. Despite its lethal potential, the blue-ringed octopus is not aggressive and only bites when provoked or handled. However, because of its small size and striking iridescent blue rings, it is often mistaken for a harmless, beautiful sea creature, making it especially dangerous to curious swimmers or divers. Next up is another ocean killer, the cone snail. Cone snails are found in tropical and subtropical waters, particularly in the Indo-Pacific region, the Caribbean, and the Red Sea. They typically inhabit coral reefs, sandy seafloors, and shallow tide pools, often burrowing into the sand to ambush prey. While many species are harmless, certain large cone snails, such as the geography cone snail, are highly venomous and responsible for multiple human fatalities. The cone snail's venom, known as conotoxin, is an incredibly potent cocktail of neurotoxins, paralytics, and painkillers that can cause respiratory failure, paralysis, and death. Unlike most venomous creatures, the cone snail does not bite or sting. Instead, it fires a harpoon-like tooth into its victim, injecting the venom in a split second. The toxin functions very similarly to the blue-ringed octopus, with paralysis and respiratory failure being the ultimate result. Some conotoxins also disrupt the cardiovascular system, leading to severe drops in blood pressure, heart arrhythmias, and cardiac arrest. Conotoxin is estimated to be 10 to 1,000 times more potent than morphine, meaning victims may not feel pain until severe symptoms set in, with the sting being described as a pinprick. There is no antivenom, and death has been reported within 5 hours. Unlike some venomous creatures that inject a measured dose of venom, cone snails cannot control the amount they deliver, meaning that even a small sting could be fatal. Our next animal isn't as cute as the others, but it's just as deadly. Before we take a look, please can we ask you to consider liking this video if you're enjoying the content, and subscribing if you'd like to join for future adventures. We'd love to have you with us. Now back to land for the Lonomia caterpillar. Also known as the assassin caterpillar, this creature is found in the forests of South America, particularly in Brazil, Venezuela, Argentina, and Paraguay. Their incredible camouflage with the trees makes them extremely dangerous, as people may unknowingly brush against there while hiking or collecting firewood. The Lonomia caterpillar is one of the most venomous caterpillars on Earth, with multiple human deaths having been recorded. The venom is delivered through hundreds of tiny spines that cover its body. This venom contains anticoagulants that prevent blood from clotting. This leads to spontaneous bleeding in the brain, kidneys, and other vital organs. Some cases involve severe bruising, vomiting blood, and excessive nosebleeds, resembling symptoms of hemorrhagic fever. In severe cases, victims experience hypovolemic shock, where the body loses too much blood, or hemolysis, where blood cells break down and organs like kidneys begin to collapse. Deaths typically occur within 24 to 72 hours if medical treatments such as antivenom and blood transfusions are not administered. Survivors may suffer long-term kidney damage due to renal failure caused by the excessive bleeding. As few as 20 of these tiny stings can be enough to cause life-threatening internal bleeding. And in Brazil, over 500 cases of Lonomia envenomation have been documented, with approximately 2.5% of these resulting in death. If we haven't covered enough deadly sea creatures already, this one is arguably the worst of them all. Introducing the stonefish. Found in similar habitats to the cone snails earlier, the stonefish tends to prefer sandy beds in coral reefs. It is the most venomous fish on Earth, possessing neurotoxic and cytotoxic venom stored in 13 sharp dorsal spines. When stepped on or provoked, these spines inject venom deep into the body, delivering an excruciatingly painful and potentially fatal sting. The venom contains stonotoxin and verrucotoxin, which block nerve signals, leading to full-body paralysis. Hemotoxins cause blood vessel leakage and tissue breakdown, leading to massive swelling, skin death called necrosis, and internal bleeding. Severe envenomation can result in limb amputation if tissue destruction is extensive. Victims describe the pain as unbearable, worse than childbirth, often causing immediate shock and loss of consciousness. Unbelievably, the pain intensifies over time, peaking at around 30 to 90 minutes and lasting for days to weeks. Some victims have gone into cardiac arrest purely from the intensity of the pain. If untreated, death can occur within 1 to 2 hours due to shock, respiratory failure, or cardiac arrest. Survival depends on immediate treatment, usually through antivenom or hot water immersion to denature the venom. If you ever find yourself wading through tropical waters, wear protective footwear, because one wrong step on this living landmine could be your last. In close competition to the stonefish is the box jellyfish. Notorious for being almost invisible in coastal waters of the eastern seas, this jellyfish is truly frightening. Unlike other jellyfish that drift passively with ocean currents, the box jellyfish is capable of active movement, using a primitive form of propulsion to swim. The box jellyfish is widely considered one of the most venomous creatures on Earth, And for good reason. Its sting can kill a human in under 5 minutes. The jellyfish's tentacles, which can grow up to 10 feet or 3 meters long, contain millions of specialized stinging cells called nematocysts. Each nematocyst functions like a microscopic hypodermic needle, injecting venom immediately upon contact, using water pressure to fire themselves into the skin. The venom is a potent cocktail of cardiotoxins, neurotoxins, and dermonecrotic toxins, making it one of the most complex and lethal biological venoms in existence. Cardiotoxins attack the heart muscles, causing arrhythmia and cardiac arrest. Some victims have been known to die before even reaching shore, as their hearts stop beating almost instantly. At the same time, neurotoxins overload the nervous system, leading to instantaneous excruciating pain and paralysis. Victims often go into shock, making it difficult to swim, leading to drowning. Survivors may suffer long-term nerve damage, experiencing lingering pain for months or even years. The flesh-eating part of the venom causes extreme skin tissue destruction, blackening the skin wherever the tentacles made contact. The affected areas may continue to degrade over time, leaving severe scarring or even permanent disfigurement. The venom of a single box jellyfish contains enough toxin to kill over 60 adult humans, and more than 100 deaths have been attributed to box jellyfish in Australia alone, with many more occurring in Southeast Asia. There is no true antidote for box jellyfish venom, but immediate first aid, such as pouring vinegar over the sting site, can help deactivate some of the venom's nematocysts, preventing further envenomation. However, victims require urgent medical attention, as survival often depends on rapid resuscitation and life support measures. Another prevalent creature in Australia is the flower urchin. Despite its delicate and decorative look, this venomous sea urchin is one of the deadliest echinoderms in the ocean. It possesses specialized structures that not only deliver venom, but also physically latch onto the victim, making its sting incredibly painful and dangerous. The flower urchin's venom is delivered through pedicellarii, tiny claw-like pincers attached to the urchin's body. These structures, which resemble small flowers, do not just sting. They actively grip onto anything that touches them, injecting venom multiple times. This makes the sting significantly worse than that of a standard sea urchin, as the venom continues to be delivered long after contact. The flower urchin's venom contains multiple toxins: peditoxin, which induces muscle paralysis and respiratory failure; contractin A, which triggers intense muscle contractions and potential heart failure; and a mix of cytotoxins and hemotoxins, causing tissue damage, internal bleeding, and severe inflammation. Several documented fatalities have occurred due to paralysis and drowning before victims could reach safety, as shock can occur within minutes. Survivors often experience intense pain and numbness for weeks to months after a sting. The most terrifying aspect of this creature is its ability to silently incapacitate its victims underwater, where drowning is a major risk. Unlike other venomous animals that rely on fangs or stingers, the flower urchin's pedicellarii continue to envenomate long after initial contact, making it one of the most insidiously dangerous animals in the ocean. And that's our 7 animals covered. But as promised, we have a plant as an honorable mention. A plant so formidable, it has been given the nickname the suicide plant. Formerly known as the gympie, this plant is a highly toxic stinging tree native to Australia's northeastern rainforests, particularly in Queensland. It also grows in parts of Indonesia. Found in dense forests and clearings, this seemingly unassuming plant thrives along hiking trails and riverbanks where unsuspecting travelers may brush against it. Though it may look harmless with its broad, green, heart-shaped leaves, the gympie is considered one of the most excruciatingly painful plants on Earth. Its toxic sting comes from millions of tiny, hair-like stinging needles that coat its leaves, stems, and even its small, berry-like fruit. These hairs, called trichomes, function like hypodermic needles, injecting an incredibly potent neurotoxin into the skin upon contact. The trichomes embed themselves deep into the skin and release a complex cocktail of neurotoxins, the most studied of which is moroidin. Moroidin irreversibly binds to pain receptors, meaning that the pain does not fade over time like with other stings. Instead, it can last for weeks, months, or even years. Victims describe the pain as being burned with acid, electrocuted and crushed, all at the same time. Unlike many other venoms, the toxins remain active even after the trichomes break off, meaning that brushing the area, applying pressure, or exposing it to cold can reactivate the pain years later. Severe cases can lead to anaphylactic shock, uncontrollable muscle spasms, and even heart failure from the sheer intensity of the pain response. Historical reports from World War II soldiers describe horses and military personnel dying after exposure to the plant. The pain is so severe that some victims have taken their own lives, rather than endure it, earning the Gimpy Gimpy its ominous nickname, the suicide plant. There you have it, folks. Please be safe out there. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.